32 freaking years old. I have a right to stand up for myself if somebody wants to talk shit to me. Now, being as I am on parole right now, I can't do that. People got me by the short and curlies on that one. But best believe I won't always be on parole.
Hey guys, Becca Scoops here. How are you guys doing today? Yes, get rid of the music. It's a little loud. How are you guys doing? I have got a hodgepodge video for you. I'm excited. I think you guys are going to really enjoy this. We're going to go over some current events in the Gypsy Rose Blanchard kind of a case, kind of what's going on with that. I want to start out with something that I found pretty shocking. Then we're going to get an update on the Cameo. If you don't know, Gypsy's joined Cameo. We've got a little update. And after that, we're going to go into some controversy, some conspiracy. Now, something I've never covered and never really spoken about is this issue where there is a contingent of people in the Gypverse, people that follow the case, that believe that there is no baby. And while I do believe there is a baby, I believe there is a situation around the baby. But let me give this caveat. I cannot say with 100% certainty, like I've held the baby. Do you know what I mean? So I wanted to go over some of this and, bring some evidence, some other things for you guys to consider and see where it goes from there because it's an interesting topic. Is it germane to the whole actual crime that Gypsy Rose Blanchard did? No. But if she faked having a baby, that would be pretty crazy, right? Again, I want to just open the dialogue. It's, I'm not saying no, there is a baby. Well, I kind of do believe there is a baby, but hey, when we get to that point, we'll discuss it. Okay. And then yeah, that's gonna be exciting, right? And then I have some prison email stuff that I think you guys are gonna really enjoy. Just some tidbits that, I think that are noteworthy, and I think that are valuable in showing who Gypsy Rose Blanchard really is. Who is she? We're making this case that, she's dangerous to be on the internet, and so I want to use some of those prison emails to give more of the backstory of who she is in her own words. What better than your own words to say who you are, right? Okay, but first we're going to get to this crazy kind of situation. Now, some of you may know that a few days ago, Gypsy came back on the internet. Just, that's why I started out the video with the short and curlies. You may have me by the short and curlies now, but best believe when I'm off parole, I'm coming for you, right? It's kind of the message that she gave. And she did just that. And she showed up on a TikTok account over the creator's name is Quiche. And she had these two people that were with her. And it was odd. We're like, some people said they were her neighbors. And if you want to see in my last video or the video before that, I have the actual, it's crazy. It's a shouting match. She shows up. I do have a picture of it. Let's bring that up. Okay, so there's Gypsy in the background. And there's Quiche. You see Quiche. And then down here you see the name of the person, the TikTok account that was videoing it. And it says Heather Sapp. Well, then Gypsy tells a story while she's on live with her BFF Bree and brings up this Heather person. And it's kind of a strange story. And I can't play most of it for you because there's this music in the background and I'm going to get copyrights, struck. I can't play this. I don't know who the music is, but I'm sure I'm going to get copyright strikes. So unfortunately, I couldn't find a video without this music in the background. But I can, play just a snippet of it where you hear her say the name Heather. Okay, so let me bring that up.
So I got a good vibe from them and everything. And then Heather tells.
Okay, so here is the video. You can find it, and I'll have the link in the GRB Snark subreddit. Okay, if you want to hear the whole thing, I'm going to give you the gist of it right now. Ken apparently was trolling around Facebook looking for friends. I can't make it up. It's weird. It's weird because obviously Gypsy and Ken have always said they're scared of strangers. They're scared to let anyone that they get death threats and all these other things, right? So why would you be opening yourself up to engaging with strangers on Facebook or any social media platform? And Gypsy tells a story, you can go listen to it yourself, where Ken approaches her and says, "Hey, I found this great couple. It's Heather and I think the guy's name is Gage or Greg, I don't know. And hey, let's go out to dinner with them." Now, that's the picture. I'm pretty sure this picture, they brought the baby with them, is the story. Okay. And Gypsy goes, "Oh, and we vibed so well. We went out to." Gypsy said she was apprehensive at first. Like, I don't know if that's a good idea, but Ken wanted to do it. Ken wanted to meet this unknown couple from Facebook. Pretty sure it was Facebook. And so it's like a blind date, like a couple blind date. Very weird, considering all the things that they tell us about how, they're scared for her safety and people are making death threats. And so it's like, don't you have other friends? I mean, family that you can hang out with? Why do you need to meet new people? I mean, nothing against meeting new people, even if it's on a social media app. I'm not, no judge, I'm not. It's just weird for them. It's just weird. Okay. So they went out to dinner and had this great time. And apparently that's when you see like the next day they're hanging out. I mean, we don't see Ken anywhere. We see Ken in this picture. But apparently they have this double date. And don't you know, it's so weird because this Heather character lived in Springfield. Well, Springfield is where the pink house is at, Habitat for Humanity house, where Gypsy murdered her mom. And then Heather tells Gypsy, "Hey, I met you when I lived in Springfield." More weirdness. More weirdness. Now wait, let me clarify. I'm not sure if maybe if Heather reached out to Ken first. That could have been too. Um Either way, it's odd that he would take people up on wanting to meet them who he has no clue who they are. He said to Gypsy, "Oh, I looked at their accounts. They look pretty cool. They look safe or something." I don't know. I'm sure Ted Bundy looks safe too. Anyways, um, they go out and this Heather girl discloses, and then Gypsy mentions like she moved around a lot as a kid because they were doing missionary work. Well, in this video where they're trolling Quiche on TikTok and the man puts the blonde wig on, Gypsy's blonde wig, they say, "Oh, we're going to pray for you. We're going to pray for you. You guys that are anti-Gypsy, we're going to pray for you." So i.e. the missionary work, I'm getting that maybe that's why she moved around a lot, i.e. why she was going to pray for all of us. So I just thought this is weird. Maybe I could just play just another snippet. Hope I won't get in trouble.
She is originally from Springfield.
There. Okay. 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 Okay.
And so she tells me, she's like, "I actually met you before. I used to live in Springfield." And I can't remember if she said that she was in the Habitat for Humanity neighborhood or if she was in the neighborhood next to it. But she's like, "I remember you guys and I met y'all one day." And I'm like, wow, like it's such a small world. And you know, they relocated a lot.
Is it a small world if she sought them out, or did Ken seek them out? Let me go to the beginning. I think
I'm listening.
We should go and have dinner with them. And I
okay, so it's just I can't tell. I can't tell. It could have been either way. Again, either way, it's a weird situation. If you want to meet Gypsy and Ken, go ask them. They'll go out to dinner with you, I guess. It doesn't matter. If you have a if your social media account looks okay, I don't know. All right. Okay, let's move on to the Cameo thing. You guys probably already know that whole Cameo thing, that Gypsy was trolled by this woman named Kendall. Kendall made a little video where Gypsy claims, and the reason I'm going to play this is because there's a clip of Gypsy again talking on TikTok on Breeze Live about how she knew it was a troll.
This is probably one of the last things I'll say about it, but you guys kept tagging me last night that she was on live.
So this is the person, in case you don't know, who paid for $150 for Gypsy to for a cameo, where the premise of it was, my mom was banning me from my boyfriend. And I did a video on that. It's my last video, that if you want to see that part of it. Anyways, here's the woman that was behind it. And here's her talking about her trolling Gypsy.
Live talking about me, and I was like, oh my god, there's no way. Yeah, there is a way. So here's the clip from the live talking about that cameo and how she was going to use the money to go shopping. And
so here's Gypsy. She's setting up Gypsy talking on TikTok about this situation.
When she was begging for money for baby formula like a month ago because she had less than $100 to her name, and then bought a $2,000 wig. Anyways, here you go.
on me. I'll take it.
That bad girl, get that bad.
With her about it. Like I feel like that was solid, logical.
I'm gonna act like she didn't know that was a troll.
Now, before Bree cut her off there, Gypsy was saying, I thought that was solid, logical, and she was going to say advice. Meaning the advice she gave the fictional character of this teenage girl breaking up with her boyfriend was solid and logical. And it wasn't, because Gypsy at one point in the video says to the teen girl, well, it might come down to an ultimatum. Meaning this teen girl's going to give her mother an ultimatum. I don't know about you guys, if you've parented teens, but my teenagers didn't give me ultimatums. Okay. No was no. No. Okay. How about no? All right. But that's Gypsy, because that's how she handled her own mom. It's a nice way of saying, I'm not going to do what my mom says because I don't have to.
Y'all, Gypsy's
I know
not
Ken even
stupid.
called it. Ken called it.
Gypsy's claiming that Ken called it, that it was a troll, and Gypsy always knew it was a troll. But then she went ahead to make a 7-minute video explaining it herself. If she knew it was a troll, and yeah, she wanted the money, so she had to make a video surrounding it. Well, why wouldn't she just make a minute video? Why would she take 7 whole long minutes to explain this whole thing? Yeah, it doesn't add up.
Oh, I know. Bugs, I don't go shopping with that.
Y'all
Thank
wanna
you.
waste y'all money?
Please.
Honestly, I think my favorite part is whoever else was in that live was like, and then the girl wants to go online and act like she wasn't a troll.
That's Bree talking, and we know Bree backs up everything Gypsy says. Even when Bree knows it's a lie, Bree is the BFF, the loyal BFF that's going to back up Gypsy no matter what. Bree was her main apologist, right? She was Gypsy's apologist, explaining every reason why Gypsy had to kill her mother. So, and do we need to look no further with Bree than the most infamous Bree video? You guys know what it is. It's an oldie but a goodie. Gypsy don't give a fuck.
Don't give a fuck, Gypsy don't give a fuck. Now what? Oh, y'all wasted y'all
Fuck
money.
you guys. Because I had a great time in New Orleans. Anyway.
Louisiana mobile billboards, they put minors on billboards.
Minor. I love the minor child.
My minor child.
Minor child.
Minor child.
Billboard.
Anyways, you guys know it. You guys know what's going on here. And to even make it more bizarre, like Gypsy, like apologist, there's this one TikTok person creator named Julie who is always like up Gypsy's ass, right? Always like, oh, Gypsy, you're so great, Oh, I love Gypsy. Oh, okay. Well, Julie had some subtle criticism about this whole thing about was Gypsy really trolled or not? Let's listen to that. And I'm going to give Julie some advice here.
This was a troll account. I think that she was just responding to what she thought was an innocent cameo. And unfortunately,
So Julie's saying that Gypsy's lying. Julie, you're not supposed to say that as one of her minor apologists. You're not up there with Brie, but maybe not a good look.
it was online haters. It's got to be extremely hurtful to be deceived. And
Don't you think hate's a strong word? I don't think they're haters. It's just you don't like her. You don't like what she's done. Have to be like sheer hate. I mean, that's no.
manipulated into things like this. And I think that's why she's probably coming back trying to say that she knew it was a troll account. I also don't really understand how this is trolling Gypsy. I mean,
Let me just back it up there in case you guys didn't see this. That's Gypsy answering the Kendall person. Kendall, who has over 340,000 followers on TikTok. You need to know that because Julie's going to say something here. And yeah, it has to do with follower count. But here's Gypsy's answer. Yes, I did, meaning I knew it was you. And I just want you to know that I knew that you were a troll, but I wanted the opportunity to show my growth as a human being. Are you kidding? I wanted to show my growth as a human being and be like the role model that I didn't have in the past and give you advice that I wish that someone would have gave me 10 years ago. So are you saying in a roundabout way here, Gypsy, that if you would have gotten this advice, you wouldn't have murdered your mother? Are you saying the reason you murdered your mother was because of a boy? Maybe, I don't know. All right. What else does Julie have to say?
things like this. And I think that's why she's probably coming back trying to say that she knew it was a troll account. I also don't really
Oh, Gypsy also said, God bless you. I'm praying for you, kind of a thing. What is that? What is with this new everyone's praying for everyone?
understand.
I mean, I like that. I mean, not sarcastically. I'm all for that. Don't get me wrong, but coming from her, it just seems okay. Let's just go on.
And how this is trolling Gypsy. I mean,
You don't know how this is trolling Gypsy. Have you followed the case?
with a question like this, and you
What? Okay. Here's where I'm talking about. This person, Julie, supposedly covers Gypsy Rose Blanchard, yet she has no idea why a question. I'm really struggling with my relationship with mom. She hates my boyfriend and is banning me from seeing him. That was Gypsy's life, Julie. That's why she did the crime. That's why it's a troll. Okay? I mean, okay, let's I can't. Okay, I can't. What else does she have to say?
you just gave her $150 some. Like, I know you're using it now for content, making fun of her, but how is a question like this trolling her?
It's the ultimate troll. It's the ultimate troll to hear Gypsy give advice about this when she murdered her own mother. That's the other part of it. She's talking to this girl about how to have a good relationship with your mother when she murdered her mother. Hello.
Or proving anything. Why would she even respond to this?
Now this part coming at Gypsy. All right, Julie, we're going to give you some points for this.
wish Gypsy would completely ignore the trolls and haters online. I think
Julie, do you not understand why she can't ignore the trolls online? Have you not covered Gypsy Rose Blanchard? Have you not see her like obsessively and pathologically engage in all the comments? Doesn't even matter how minor the video is. She's in the comments. She's clapping back. Like there's hundreds of examples now at this point. Remember the little autistic buttercup? Remember her calling Nick that when somebody was bringing up his autism? I mean, I can go on and on and on. There's too many to even mention here. But okay, Julie, you cover her, right?
That would be the smartest move ever.
Yes, of course it would be. But don't you get why she does that? She's a malignant narcissist, in my humble opinion, allegedly.
Gypsy has what, 9 million followers on her account? Most
Well, many are bots, people are saying. But yeah, she's got millions, no doubt.
of these trolls have 500 to 1,000 followers.
Okay, there's the count. Now, this Kendall does have, and we're going to get into it later because we're going to talk about Gypsy Rose Blanchard's expenses. Why is she doing this? So there's this Julie person. We're done with her. Done with her. Let's get to the expenses. Why is Gypsy doing Cameo? What is going on? Is she that dire for funds? Well, thanks to Conspiracy, we know what was going on with Gypsy's finances. Let me bring that right. All right, here is that. Now, I wanted to, before I get to the expenses, there's Kendall's account. Shout out to her. She has 384,000 followers. The only reason I'm mentioning that is because Julie, again, didn't even look to see how many followers she had before she said, well, she was making a generic statement. Most of the trolls only have, a few hundred, but this person has a legitimate following. Okay. And there, thanks to Conspiracy, these are screenshots from one of Conspiracy's videos. Go over and give her a follow also. You're probably already following her, but Conspiracy does some great research. So let's take a look. Just interesting to take a look at what Gypsy was making. So for Prison Confessions, her reality series, she made 150,000. She admitted that she paid 20,000 back to Rod and Christy for her expenses for when she was in prison. So that makes a total of $130,000 income. And then Life After Lockup, 2 seasons would be 300,000. The book deal there, and then it adds up to $452,000. That's a lot of money. Yet during one live, Gypsy shared this screenshot of her checking account and her savings account. 0 in savings and $7,300 in her checking. And she says, this is what I have in the bank. My trust fund is down to 45K. Where did the trust fund money go? And Gypsy answers, my living expenses. I've been living off of it. I have a $400 a month health insurance bill every month. Well, Ken, I guess, isn't helping with even though she was pregnant. And we're going to get to that, right? Was she pregnant? Was she not pregnant? Well, I'm going to say, yeah. Okay. The health insurance, she's paying it. He isn't. He's not providing it. So that's what she says. All right. So this was a couple months ago. This $7,300 living expenses. So who knows what it's down to now. All right. And so, yeah, it looks like she blew through a ton of cash, a ton fuck of cash. Okay. She blew through a lot of cash and she's admitting it. So there you have that. That's why she's on Cameo. All right. I think we've covered everything. We've covered the Heather. We've covered the Cameo. She's still on Cameo. I'm looking over here at the screen. And she's, the delivery date is 1 to 7 days. So if you want a Cameo, you might have to wait a week to get it. And she's dropped it down to $99 plus. Okay. So it's a steal at this point. She's having as Ryan would say in his TikTok, a fall sale. Ryan's dropped his down to $20. Yeah, Ryan, the ex-husband, is also on Cameo, and that's what he's doing for a living right now. All right. So, let's get to this whole entire baby issue. shall we? Is there a baby? Is there not a baby? I looked into it, and thanks to Rose Red, let me go ahead and bring up this here. Rose Red is a content creator on YouTube, and she is probably the most legitimate voice. I don't find her crazy or nutty or anything, but she has been following this pregnancy deal solely is kind of what she's really into. And we kind of had a back and forth on email. And I said, well, okay, but really like Lifetime would be in on it. And, I was giving her all the excuses. And she came back with these screenshots that apparently on reality TV, people have faked pregnancies. So that's not unheard of. And yeah, I can see that a lot of women, even if they're not on reality TV, have fake pregnancies because you don't need other people backing you up to fake a pregnancy. You just say, I'm pregnant. And well, people usually take you at your word when when you say you're pregnant, right? Now, having a fake baby, you'd have to have a lot more people in on it, right? You'd have to have a lot more people in on it that would have to keep that secret, right? Like Christy and Rod, the grandmother, Mia, Bree, some of the friends that have said they've seen the baby. So, yeah. So I looked into it. I said, well, what would be, because I love the truth. I'm for the truth. And so I was thinking, well, what would be the biggest, if I wanted to prove there was a baby or not prove there was a baby, what kind of research would I do? Well, I remembered that Ryan in the series had gone for this paternity test. First in my research, let me start with this. First in my research, I found this People magazine article that's going to kind of give us a timeline about the paternity issues surrounding it. Okay, so let's take a look at that first. All right, here's the People magazine article. Now, I got some red arrows there. It's dated February 27th, 2025. Gypsy Rose Blanchard says ex Ryan Anderson is still not out of the picture despite completed paternity tests. Now, the paternity test they're talking about is the one Gypsy went ahead and did on her own. And no one's going to believe that one, right? I mean, come on. Just because you said you took a paternity test doesn't mean there was one. You could just say that. How would I know? All right. But here in February, and we're going to get to some of the Lifetime series that's going to correspond with this timeline. So you see on February, Gypsy is talking about this. And she says in the article, we're still dealing with some things wrapped around the paternity. Remember, Gypsy didn't want anyone to think at this point that the paternity was still up in the air. But in the court system, it was still up in the air. So that's why she's wording it this way. She's not saying, oh, we've got to do another paternity test. And in fact, they did have to do another paternity test. So she says we're still dealing with some things wrapped around the paternity. Believe it or not, getting the paperwork finalized for that. What's the paperwork? And then she says, so it's like I took the test before she was born. I posted that on Instagram. That shut down all the rumors. No, it didn't. It didn't shut down any of them, who the father was. So it was clear. But then you have the court proceeding of it you have to follow up on, she explains. So what was that? Well, I decided, let me see if there are any clues to that in the Lifetime series. And that's what we're going to look at now, because there are some clues that we can look to. And then I'm going to tell you what Ryan Anderson directly told me. So here we go. All right. First off, I'm going to screen share this. And this is Ryan going to his attorney's office in December. Early January. Why do I know that? There's a Christmas tree up. All right. So let's go ahead and add this. And here we go.
Hey, how you doing? Oh, it's toasty in here.
So this is him going to the attorney's office. You can see the Christmas tree there. And remember, the article I just showed you is for February. Okay. So this would be December 2024 or January 2025. The tree is still up in the office. All right, let's watch.
I'm good. Yeah.
There's the name of the attorney. I looked up this attorney. They are legitimate. These are legitimate attorneys. There's no doubt about it. There's no question about it. And the ones that he is going to be talking to now in this clip, you can find them online. These are a little award they won, best law firms in Louisiana.
As you know, our state has that law where if the child is born within a certain time frame after your divorce, you're still presumed to be the father. So the predicament now is that you have a birth certificate where the child has your last name and you're listed as a biological father and you may not be.
Okay, so this is where he's meeting with the attorneys around this paternity issue, December, January, right? Okay, and then that article is from February. So that's the timeline.
Gypsy did the in utero test, which in my 20-year career, I've never had one in the case. Normally, the parties wait till the baby is born and do a post-birth DNA test.
So he's saying it was so weird Gypsy did that in utero test. He's never seen it done before in any of the cases he's ever had. He's never seen it. But Gypsy was hell-bent on squashing the rumors that Ryan was not the father.
Much precedent for an in utero test, knowing that when they come back,
they're going to order you to do a DNA test anyway. So to get his name off the birth certificate, there has to be a DNA test. And this is legit. This is the court says where you go. This is highly verifiable that you can't fake this. You have to have the baby's DNA. Okay. So this is the route he's going to take. He's going to take this paternity test. The reason I'm showing this is either I can't see how this is lies. I can't see how this is being faked. These are real attorneys. So they're not actors. This happened. And then you see in this series, you're going to see this is around Valentine's Day. All right. So let me bring that up for you. Before I get to this is a little interesting. Oh, okay. So
It's touch and go. It's weird. It's weird how it works. Like, I still care about her. She still cares about me. But I mean, like, it's like for the paternity to, she wanted me to meet her baby.
All right, here.
You been in contact with her?
Yes.
Why?
Why? Yeah.
We were trying to set up something for the paternity to, she wanted me to meet her baby.
She wanted me to meet her baby. Or did he want to meet the baby? It depends on who.
Flirted, but
we flirted. We know how Gypsy flirts, right? So that's just a side note there. Okay, so I'm going to get now. This is in again December, January, and now we're going to fast forward to February. Okay, and how do I know that? Because it shows Ken and Gypsy out on this little Valentine's date, and I'll show you that. Before we get to that, here's a little quick shot of Ken with the baby.
Stuff that I'll be able to do off parole that I can't do now.
Right.
So this is what I got so far. Move in with you, travel out of state.
Okay, so yeah, I guess if again, Rose Red showed that there could be that Lifetime would go around along with this. That looks like a real baby to me, so I don't know. You know what I mean? But if this was a whole ruse, I guess they could get a baby. I don't know. I'm still focusing on the paternity test. So we're going to go ahead and fast forward here to their little Valentine date to prove this is in February. All right, here we go. Here they are in their little Valentine date. I'm just showing you it because it's February. It's February 14th. So now where the timeline has gone from that appointment with the attorneys to February 14th. And that matches up with that People magazine article, right? Where she's talking about we got paternity issues. We got an issue. She doesn't want to come out and say it because she thinks that she's proved that it's Ken by doing that in utero paternity test, allegedly. Okay. So now it's February, and here they are, Valentine's Day. And next we're going to see Ryan at the place doing the test. All right. Okay. So at this point, you have to understand Gypsy has called him many times, Zoom calls. He's seen the baby. He's seen a baby. Obviously here, the way he looks, he's not thinking there isn't a baby, right? I mean, his face, his reactions, I don't think you can fake that. He's upset, obviously, about it. So
Who knows? Maybe the baby will stay Anderson forever if I'm the dad.
in his mind, there is a legitimate baby. He has seen the baby on Zoom calls, has not met the baby in person, but on Zoom calls, he has heard the baby. So there's no doubt in his mind, is what I'm trying to say, right? And now we have attorneys who are sending him to a specific lab. Why a specific lab? Well, for court-ordered, very important testing like this, you can't pick the lab. They have the lab. So it can be well controlled. And hence, to rule him out as the father of Aurora, they had to have the baby's DNA. So now the question is this all fake? Did this not happen? That's the question. And I am not here to say anyone who believes there's no baby is nuts. I'm not saying that because to me, I know the only time that Ken wanted to talk with me was around the time the baby was born. And so there was something I was saying during that time, I'm not going to get into right now, that made him want to speak with me on Discord. That never happened. But then his mom also came out publicly around that time to thwart any of these weird rumors. And the rumors were around the birth narrative. That maybe there was some issues with the baby. The baby was not 100% healthy, or the pregnancy was not 100% healthy. So I agree. There is weirdness around the birth narrative and all that. But when I look at this, I see that these are real attorneys. I'm inclined to believe there is a baby. Okay. And the mere fact, criminally, when you look at criminals and criminal conspiracies, not that this would be a criminal conspiracy, but conspiracies in general, if you have more than two people in a conspiracy, it's never going to hold. Somebody is going to leak. Somebody is going to gossip. Somebody is going to come forth and say that's bullshit. And then to get everyone to go along with it, right? Look, there's no baby, but everyone has to say there's a baby. Now, is it possible? Anything is possible with these people. So don't get me wrong. But I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this. Do you believe there's a baby? Do you believe there's issues? And the only reason I'm bringing this up is for the truth. Because I'm getting the reason I'm doing this is because I get emails or people that are just finding out about the case. And then, a few of them have brought up this baby thing. And they're like, it's so weird because people say there's no baby. What? Are you guys all crazy? So that's what they think. And I'm not saying based on how her pregnancy went, I get she's looking really pregnant, and then she's not looking pregnant. Then she's looking really pregnant, and then she doesn't look pregnant. I agree with that happened. That totally happened. I was scratching my head over all those different pictures too, about how at times it looked like she was really pregnant. And then the next day or a few hours later, it was weird. I agree that was all weird. Okay. But then I have to look at the totality of the evidence, of who's involved and people involved. So that's all I'm going to say. And the only reason I'm bringing it up is not to gossip or make it, it's not that. It's just like to get to the truth, because if she didn't have one, that would be like huge. That would be a big deal. But because new people are coming to the case, I'm trying to address these little controversies around it because I'm being asked about it. So that's why I'm covering it, because I have more than 5 emails of people that are new to the case that have asked me what's up with the no baby people. And that's why I'm addressing it. I hope I'm making myself clear with that. All right, guys? Okay. So here he goes. Some aquarium deal. There he is.
It's a lot in that cotton swab, like a lot of results and a lot of like what ifs or questions answered. It's just
Ready for a definitive ending.
I mean, in life, do you ever get endings? That's
okay. So there he is, and that happened. Now, could all of this be this part? Could all of this be fake? Well, technically, yeah, of course. But then you got the attorneys sending them there, and so I don't know. Attorneys would be risking a lot to be part of a series like this. And then if it came out that this was all staged, and then people are going to call them actors. You see my point there? So this is what I found. This is my offering of what do you say about this? Okay. Do we find this fake? Do we find Ryan acting fake? Do we find that he is I find him being legitimately like upset and concerned about it. I don't, so I went ahead and asked him yesterday if he wanted to make a comment about this baby, no baby statement. And he did. So this is what he wrote back to me. The baby is 1,000% real. I took a legit DNA test. I have the paperwork. Of course, I'm going to ask for that paperwork. If I get it, I don't know. That's pretty private, but okay. Because I asked about the paperwork. That's why he wrote, I have the paperwork. Because I asked him, do you have that paperwork? He added, yes, I'm not the father of Aurora, a real baby that Gypsy gave birth to. Okay. So now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, Ryan wants to please Gypsy. Of course, he's going to go along with it if it's a lie, blah, blah, blah. Sure. I want to point to his real emotions, though, on the series, that it looked like he was legitimately doing this. Okay. Now, could have Lifetime done all this? And then, I don't know. You guys, that's all I'm going to say about it. I've gone on too long about it, And the only reason, again, that I brought this up is because new people come into the case are asking about this. And they want to know what I think about it. Well, here's what I think about it. I've just said everything that I think about it. I do think that there's a baby. Can I 100% prove there's a baby? No, I cannot. No, I cannot. I will give you that. I am open to any evidence to the contrary. I am open to dialoguing about it if you guys want to dialogue about it. Okay. But I would like to clear this up once and for all at some point. It would be good for getting this story, getting back to the real point of everything, which is exposing Gypsy to the mainstream media, because these kind of side issues can be problematic, And so I love Rose Red. I think, I think she's a very nice person, and I appreciate her corresponding with me. So thank you, Rose. And yeah, I don't think she's crazy. I don't think she's nuts, So we're at 47 minutes in this video. I have some emails I wanted to go over, but you know what I'm going to do? Let me see which ones are the best ones here. Well, here you go, where Gypsy is saying that Ken is gay. And I'm sure many of you have seen this. I'm just bringing this up because they really had real conversations about this, and him saying that, like saying, wouldn't it be funny if you were my beard? I'm like, what does that mean? He said, oh, like I'm only dating a chick to hide that I'm gay. You'd be my beard. What straight guy knows that? Also, in the beginning, met his mother and she said, oh, it's crazy. Always thought he'd be gay because he never dated girls as a boy or teen. And he was always too shy. He had told me this one story about his first time to a strip club. Mind you, he was still a virgin at 21. He asked the dancer if she could just talk with him instead of giving him a lap dance. He isn't masculine. This is Gypsy writing, but nor is he like metrosexual. He just looks like your everyday dude. Don't know. He has pretty much overused the jokes that he is gay to the point I'm like, well, are you? I told him also if he ever decided to be trans, I would love him and stay with him all the same. And I meant that too. Okay. Again, there's speculation on that, but that is Gypsy relating some very intimate details about their relationship. Okay. Um, this is Gypsy Rose and her toxic relationship with her father. There, you can pause to read this. I think I'll go over this in a separate video because I really want to get into all the Rod and Gypsy toxic relationship. It is bizarre and it is troubling. But at this one here where I have the red arrow, it says she started something long ago. This is Rod, and never could get out of the crazy hole that she dug. I think he's talking about the medical scam. All in the name of love for you, to protect you. He's writing to Gypsy. Wish she would have just let you grow up and date. Maybe you would have never been close, but you would have had some freedom. Basically, he is saying what the true motive there was for the crime. He knows Gypsy well enough at this point to say, I wish she would have just let you date. He's also said that in documentaries. This is really gross. These are same day texts. On the same day, 7/24/23, it's Gypsy getting engaged. She's getting the engagement ring from Ryan. At the same time is when this pay pig is starting to write to her. Hi, goddess. Hi, goddess Gypsy. Sent you $50 for your birthday. Happy birthday. I live in New Jersey. I'm actually retired. Used to live in New York. This person is introducing themselves. I'm Italian. I'm 59 years old. I'm into old cars. I have 2 old Mustangs. All right. Now, the same day, Gypsy writes back, oh, that's very kind of you. And she's encouraging this relationship. Same day as these other texts between her and Melissa Moore. Melissa, yeah, I can't believe it's been a year already. That's crazy. I'm glad it was good for you guys. And that ring sounds beautiful. So they're talking about her engagement ring. Gypsy, he sent me pictures of the ring. It needs to be resized. You can pause to read this. I put the M where it's Melissa and the G where it's Gypsy the same day as she's talking to this woman they call a pay pig. Okay, that's calling Gypsy goddess. She's engaging with this woman in this sexual relationship where the woman pays Gypsy, and it's sexual and it's weird. And instead of I'm engaged, maybe I need to not have a pay pig. Gypsy's this is the character of her. This is who she is truly. This is who she is. And that's why I wanted to show that. This is just miscellaneous. Gypsy said she got blessings from murdering her mother. I always said the first one up, I regret the actions I took, but never will regret the blessings that have come from it. The actions she took. What are the actions? Murdering her own mother. She got blessings from it. What were their blessings? I am free to grow and learn even in controlled environment. So in her mind, In her mind, she sees it as blessings coming from the murder of her own mother. The next one down, just quickly. Gypsy asked Melissa Moore to help her get around her PO. So, hi, I look forward to talking tomorrow. I was wondering if I could ask a favor. Can you maybe write a letter for my parole officer regarding the active lifestyle that I will have upon release and the obligations of the book and the documentary that will be required of me? I ask because my PO will expect me to have employment. However, how can I hold a job while filming and a book tour? Which is why I need a letter from you, from the producer and partner of these projects. All right. So from day one, before she's even out of prison, Gypsy is looking at a way to get around getting a real job. And she wants people to vouch for her. Now, granted, doing the Lifetime series was, yeah, kind of a job, but you don't get to do that. What they want you to do is they want you to get legitimate work. Okay? Work that doesn't stop after your reality series dies and nobody wants to buy it anymore. Okay? And that's why she finds herself in the place she's at today, because she didn't follow what a real parole would have looked like. Get legitimate employment. Get a real job. But there she is right away, always asking for favors, always to try to get around the rules, so to speak, right? That's her character. That's her morals. All right. And then this is just a funny one. Gypsy's songs for the show. Got to put on my glasses for this one, guys. These are the songs, and I'm going to end on this note. The songs she wanted around. You guys, I don't even know these songs, but some of you will know these songs. So hopefully you'll get a kick out of this. I am not sure if you can use certain songs for the episodes. There are a few that I feel fit the situation. If you can suggest my relationship, if I can suggest my relationship with "If You Love Her" by Forrest Black, "The Good Ones" by Gabby Barrett, my relationship. So I think this is my relationship with Ryan, I guess, because she would be getting out. So it would be Ryan. "If You Love Her" by Forrest Black, "The Good Ones" by Gabby Barrett. My relationship with my mother, "Because of You" by Kelly Clarkson. My struggle with the judgment of others, "Comeback Kid" by the band Perry. All right. I cannot make this stuff up. I can't make it up. All right. I can't. Do you see how she sees herself? I want these songs. These songs are, she just sees herself as this celebrity, as this victim who's overcome all of this heartache. And now she is going to be like this role model. That's what the Cameo is about. She even says it herself. She thinks she's a role model, right? I mean, she hasn't changed one bit. Not one bit. All right, guys. That's going to do it for Becca Scoops. I will be doing a live where we're going to further discuss some of these things. Please leave me your comments. I am going to read all of them. And I love you guys so much. And thank you for watching. Becca Scoops out.